All right. Hey everybody. It's Tuesday and I can't tell what day it is anymore. It's rainy, it's not rainy, who knows. But what I do know is everyone's been not in the best of health these days between coronavirus and just what happens when you're home. I know I ruined my sleep schedule and I know a lot of other people have too. Going to bed at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is not ideal. So what we're going to be talking about today is we are going to talk a bit about health and many different kinds of health. So we have, Grandma Lucille is here today, and she's going to help us out with some, different ways to keep healthy. So Grandma Lucille, you there?
What'd you say?
I said, hi, how are you doing today?
I'm splendid. How are you, darling? You look beautiful.
Well, thank you. I mean, I'm nice and comfy today, but I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, precious. I see you've been busy on the Facebooks.
Yes,
and you got to keep yourself busy or you lose it. I'm 96. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah,
you're not going to lose it anytime soon.
So, Grandma Lucille, will you tell everyone a little bit about what makes you qualified to tell everyone, different ways to keep yourselves happy, healthy, and, sleeping well at home?
Well, I'm 96 years old, so there's that. I've been in the training business since I was about 6 years old and professionally since I was about 19. And I worked at gyms and I worked at all different wellness centers and yoga and moga and yogurt. And I taught you that. And I also wrote a health guidebook when I was about 24 years old. And I still add pages all the time. I'm a certified health counselor. Also, I'm certified in sword fitness, just in case anyone breaks through any of these windows. And I've counseled hundreds upon hundreds of people. I've also led audiences of thousands and hundreds through Avon and National Kidney Foundation for years. And basically, I've also get some sex therapy and some love advice. Excuse me, sorry, I'm very popular and many people are messaging me. And I done all types of things. Just look up, just go to my website, thelifewithjenergy.com. You can find out all about me. But enough about me. I really would like to tell you guys some information that you can use now during this coronavirus. Celia, where is
I'm over here.
You're so precious.
So where would you like to start? Because I know that there's a ton of different ways that we can be taking care of ourselves better. So would you like to, what makes the most sense to you?
Let me just fix my hearing aid. Okay. Let's see. I think we should talk about sleep because a lot of people are having a hard time sleeping. They're nervous. Maybe they're separated from their boyfriends and their girlfriends and they're not having sex. And sex could put you right to sleep. So I think we need to focus on sleep. And how are you sleeping, young lady?
I am sleeping okay, but I need to, fix the time I'm going to sleep because, going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and getting up at 10 is probably not the best way to, live your life.
Yeah, my darling granddaughter Jennifer was doing that for a while. She was even getting out of bed at 11 and 12 and 1 and 2 p.m. for a while. She was just heart-wrenched over the sadness of what's going on. So let's go into it, okay? All right, so if you're having a hard time falling asleep at the proper time, and we're going through a bit of a paradigm shift now with health and mindsets. I think the world is changing and flipping on its axis. So it's hard to know what the rules are, but if we want to go back to the old traditional times of going to sleep at 9 and 10 and 11, 12 o'clock, perhaps you should be avoiding naps. So this is official guidelines for years. God, I look beautiful. To avoid naps for longer than 30 minutes. So if you're having a hard time falling asleep at the proper time, and I don't like rules, but you got your own rules, avoid those naps. Do you like naps, Celia? Are you taking naps? Are you a napper?
I mean, I used to be a napper, but for now, since I've been home, I haven't really been taking naps. I haven't really felt the need to take naps. But when I was out running around and working and stuff, and I would have to wake up super early to go on a video shoot and come home, I might take a nap and then do some more of my work afterwards.
Yeah, Celia's a busy girl. I would say she's one of Jennifer's inspirations in the production world. She's even younger than my granddaughter Jennifer, and she's doing so much with herself. Jennifer tells everyone about you. Just precious. Just keep going, okay? Just keep
Well, you'll have
going.
to
Don't.
tell Jen thank you for me.
Okay, I will. I'm staying at her house right now, and actually, she was supposed to be on this call, but I told her meeting was at 1:30 and not at 1, so here I am. I love to take some gigs from her. All right, let's go into the next tip. The next tip would be to finish your cardio at least three hours or so before bed. Now, some people, a lot of men I found in my career, that men can work out right before bed and then they can pass out. But women, for some reason, it doesn't seem to work for them. So here we are. So I would say finish your cardio at least 3 hours before bedtime. Just finish that up and then bring it down. Calm down. Simmer down, okay? Okay. And also walking. Walking's beautiful. Now, a lot of cardio, people are focused on ellipticals. I have an elliptical right behind me and all this cardio equipment and all these intense workouts that to get you riled up and get your norepinephrine and your adrenaline all fired up. And how the heck are you going to calm down? All right. So if you finding yourself that you're riled up and you can't fall asleep, take your workouts and make them longer than 30 minutes. Okay. You tire yourself out. You go, you work out longer than 30 minutes, maybe 90 minutes, maybe 60 minutes. And instead of maybe those intense workouts later in the evening, you're going to be walking, okay? So Jennifer and her dad, at least once or twice a week, the young man, 65, he thinks he's old, but they walk, and that burns off the cortisol, and that burns off your stress hormones. So if you have a hard time going to bed, find someone you like or maybe you hate because maybe you don't have many choices now in the quarantine, and go walking and be safe. Walking, burn off those stress hormones, and you fall right to sleep. You feel great.
For someone who, doesn't really know what to do, what would be a couple of easy workout things that people can incorporate with the walking?
Okay, so with the walking, I'll show you. I have ankle weights on right now, okay? So if you don't have access to the gym, I know Equinox is closing. That's my favorite gym. Sad. You put some ankle weights on, and you could be kicking and doing leg lifts. And when your neighbors come up and they want to chit chat and talk to you and tell you, you could do some ankle weights and do some leg lifts and some. I'll show you right here. I'll show you. So when your neighbors chit chatting with you, you can do a little squat action and some leg lift action, and you can do some posterior chain glute and hamstring action and some quad action, and you can switch legs and you can do some balance action right here, and you can kick them in the face if they want to talk about something stupid. You could also use arm weights, and if you don't got ankle or arm weights, you don't want to order on Amazon, you want to save some money, you can carry around household objects like water bottles. You can fill up water bottles with sand or 1 2-pound weights, and while you're walking down the street, you're doing these movements. This is actually the Joe Dillon technique. I believe he trained Tiger Woods. Jennifer's dad's a black belt in kickboxing, and he's used this professionally. And you can do punching, and there's all types of moves that you can do when you're walking down the street. So maybe you do 10, 20, or 30 punches. Maybe you do one arm. Maybe you do uppercuts. You can mix it up. If you're very rigid and a little OCD, maybe you start with 10 reps or 5 reps, depending where you're at. And the next time you do 11 reps or 6 reps. Walking's great. Well, walking with weights is great. You can always break down, put the music on, and break into a dance while you're walking. Because walking, remember, final thought, walking is the sagittal plane, all right? So sagittal plane is forward. Transverse plane is here. So you wanna sculpting all those muscles. Even though I'm 96, I still got some abs because I work in all the planes of motion. So you want to move around, and it's important to not just get stuck in this way of thinking, because this will also It also diminishes your creativity. Now, I know you're an artist. You want to keep your creativity up. You got to stimulate your cerebrum and your cerebellum and your prefrontal cortex by doing coordination activity. So your prefrontal cortex, which people take Adderall for, and all these stimulant drugs to wake up the prefrontal cortex, you can do it naturally by doing coordination exercises.
Interesting. All right, Grandma Lucille. I don't know if I can do that one. Oh, I'm doing it.
I told your audience you guys were smart. I told you. So, yeah. You can also hit the steam room if you're all riled up. You don't got a steam room in your house. You're not rich like me. But I am staying with my granddaughter. We'll talk about that later. You can take a hot shower or hot bath, and that will raise your core temperature, and then it drops. And then you'll be nice and sleepy for bedtime, and you'll feel your temperature going down. Whew.
You're running around over there.
I'm working. It's exciting. I'm just excited to be on the phone with you because Jennifer's told me so many things about you. I'm just so excited. And okay, so we want to move on to the next sleep tip for making you sleepy.
Definitely.
Okay. So my granddaughter Jennifer, she teaches this as well. She has a book as well. She's kind of stolen my tips, but it's okay. It's family. So some things you can eat to feel more at ease and more grounded is root vegetables. So you have like sweet potatoes and potatoes and yams and sunchokes, things that grow in the ground are gonna get you nice and grounded. So you eat these things and you feel very still. And rice too. Rice actually is proven. This is not just me. Rice is proven to help you fall asleep earlier and faster and help you stay asleep longer. So if you have trouble falling asleep, put some rice in your diet, lower your carbs the rest of the day so you don't get big belly due to carbs. And you eat lower carb, and then a few hours before bed, you add that rice, potatoes, maybe carrots, sweet potatoes, and you'll feel yourself drop down.
Is that any kind of rice, or is it just a certain kind of rice? Like, is it any rice, or is it just like brown or white rice?
That's a good question. I've experimented with green rice, black rice, white rice, brown rice. I don't discriminate. I'm like Big Pun. I like all the colors in my life. I eat it all. And I found it all works. White rice seems to be maybe a little sleepier, maybe sleepy, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know everything. You would think I would by now.
Well, that's a great tip because I know that food definitely can be used and is used in like the Middle East as medicine. So instead of taking Advil PM or NyQuil or ZQuil or something, it would be much better to incorporate foods into your diet that's going to do the same thing. Is that correct?
Exactly. And with the NyQuil, of course I tried that. Before I knew better, I tried NyQuil and ZQuil and PQuil and DogQuil and CatQuil and all the quills. And I wake up and feeling and I was in college at American University a very long time ago. I remember it clicked with me. We have these moments in our life where you go, click, click, I see a connection. I took a NyQuil. I had a meeting in my class and I couldn't even talk to my classmate. I was fumbling over the words like a bumbling idiot. So I said, that's it. No more NyQuil. I can't function. It would be 24 hours. And I'd be, you can't do this. So rice is good. Potatoes would be lower. Actually, but popcorn. Popcorn can make you very sleepy too. But I got to warn you, if you're going to do popcorn, you might wake up very foggy. And you might be sleepy and have something called colloquially, so we dumb it down for the people who aren't at my speed. Brain fog. You feel brain fog after having popcorn. And many of my clients have told me that. They do popcorn and then they wake up and they're groggy for a while. So if you have lots and lots of carbs before bed and cheese, you might need some coffee to wake yourself back up. And then you get in a whole struggle and a whole cycle, ups and downs and like these Hollywood actresses. And my granddaughter Jennifer is a bit like this too. She has to be up, she has to be down, she has to act for Celia. Celia says, do this, do that. And she goes, okay, I dance like monkey. It's hard. It's hard to be waking up on command. In this world, you got to be up and you got to have meetings. It's malarkey.
I gotcha. So you mentioned like popcorn and cheese and things like that. Why do those bring people down or make them
Great question. So we'll go into two things, okay? Two topics. We have the conductivity of food and the electrical capacity of food. We'll go there a second because a lot of people don't know that this. I really don't know many people that teach this. But the first one, which is more mainstream, is the casomorphine. So in cheese, there's a morphine-like substance that called casomorphine that makes you sleepy. So if you see the babies, they have the breast milk, and if you watch a baby have their mother's breast milk, they go, ooh, sleepy time. And the rumor, you know this, the rumor or the fact or the wives' tale, many wives to many people, and you have the milk before bed. So one reason why milk before bed works is because of casomorphine, a morphine-like substance that you're drugging yourself up to go to sleep. Now, my granddaughter Jennifer does this about once or twice a week, maybe 5 times a week. She actually uses or abuses cheese to fall asleep due to the casomorphine. Look that up. That's a big topic. That'll make you sleepy. So I don't recommend having cheese in the middle of the day before you have to meet with big boss Martin Scorsese types like Celia Werner here. But at night, maybe 1, 2, 3 hours before bed, you have some cheese and you drug yourself to go to bed. Now, this is going into some drug addict behavior, so maybe you don't want to do that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too good. But I know personally I'm lactose intolerant, so I avoid cheese. Maybe that helps with my energy level.
Yes, the cheese can be a bit of a rhymes with which. Not going to say that on your show. I got too much respect for you, darling. All right, so now we're going to go to the conductivity of food. So you think of if we have an electrical storm, if we have a rainstorm and there's lightning going, you don't stand next to a pool because the pool's in the water conducts energy. So people talk about, I want more energy, Lucille. Grandma Lucille, teach me how to have more energy. Well, you got to think of electricity because we have electricity running through our bodies. The synapses in our neurological system is electricity, and many people forget this fact. We are electrical beings, and if you talk to many of the, we have lots of psychic friends. They'll say that Jennifer has sparks coming out of her head. She's an electrical being. She's even shot the movie Bloody Nun, and there were sparks coming out of her head on camera. So with this info, we want to eat foods that have good electrical properties, that have water, that have the ability to conduct. So the conductivity and electricity of food. Now, what foods do you think have water? We have watermelon and honeydew, apples, oranges. There's water and the interstitial fluid in these foods. So they're going to conduct more energy. Now, a lot of you guys have probably dropped off and you don't understand what I'm saying. So we're going to have to continue this another time. But popcorn is dry. Mm-hmm. So if you think foods that are dehydrated and dry, I don't want you to just take my advice. Do an experiment. I've been experimenting with this since my 20s, so 68 years. The conductivity of food, pay attention to your vibration, your energy, your cognition when you have the dry food, snooze fest, popcorn, crackers, junk food, and then when you have the moisture-filled foods and you see how you feel, you're going to feel totally different. This is one of the ideas behind the raw food diet. So you guys at home play around. I think lots of you guys have lots of time on your hands, and you pay attention to how you feel for the next 30 minutes to 6 hours after you have dry foods that don't conduct nothing. And when you have foods that are full of moisture, a lot of you youngins don't like the word moisture, but we need some moisture in your life.
Okay. That would be a great experiment. If someone wants to try it now and, report back by the end of the show, that would be awesome. So go
Tell us
take a second
about
left
your
in the
moisture
kitchen.
levels. Tell us about your moisture levels.
About my moisture levels?
Gosh, I want people to tune in and tell
I'm
us.
drinking this right now, and I had tomatoes and cucumbers before I came on here. So hopefully I'm doing good.
Yes, Lord, she's having her cucumbers, and that's a food that conducts electricity. And side note, for you who are dehydrated or worried about the coronavirus, you have foods with moisture, and it slowly feeds you moisture throughout the day, whereas drinking water can just go right through you. So you gotta have foods that keep the moisture seeping out all day, kind of like those soaking hoses. Are you into gardening? I'm into gardening.
I mean, I'm familiar with gardening. I appreciate gardening, but I don't have a yard. Fortunately, I don't get to garden.
Well, you come by here. You come here and you check out our farm. So the soaking hoses slowly disperse water throughout the day and keep the moisture going instead of the water just all at once and then goodbye. So a cucumber, you could say, a watermelon, apples are like soaking hoses, and they keep us moistureful and electric all day, conducting energy because we're full of moisture. So if you don't have the moisture, you might be not conducting electricity, and your energy is gonna go down. How about that?
You just dropped a knowledge bomb on everyone.
But I'm all about love and peace and not bombs. So,
yes, peace.
But and no worry and no fear. You gotta release that.
Yes, definitely, 100%. So I know that we said cucumbers and stuff. What would be your number one recommendations for hydrating foods?
Ooh, that's a good question. So watermelon. Watermelon's beautiful. Honeydew is very hydrating. You could just drink a bottle of lube. Just kidding. I got my joke still. Sorry. Cucumbers. Let's see. We could go in my fridge right now. Which I have. I have oranges. Great. Apples. Great. Cantaloupe. Great. What you don't want to have would be like cheese is not really moistureful, or popcorn, rice. You see, I'll tell you about rice. Now, rice is not exactly a hydrating food, but it helps to keep the hydration inside of you. So if for the men with the prostate issues after 40 years old, I see a lot of men with the prostate issues. You have some rice later in the evening. It absorbs the water, the carbs. The carbs absorb water, and they won't be peeing all night long. So tips for the men with the large prostate: you just have some carbs and some rice, and you won't be peeing and being dehydrated as much. Keeps the water in you. Carbs keep water inside you. And if you want to look ripped like my granddaughter Jennifer, she won't have carbs before a shoot, especially with you. She knows you're strict on the muscles.
I mean, I'm not that strict. I think she's doing that on herself, but she does do a really good job with that, though. So I have to commend her.
Thank you.
We have some people that want to say hello. We have Michael says hi. Michael also says he's laughing his ass off.
Well, don't lash it all off, because your glutes are the foundation of your strength. So if you laugh your ass off, you're not gonna have a leg to stand on. Literally.
True. Very
Keep
good.
your ass. I don't like this. This is better. Okay. And back to sleep. You see, some things you can do for sleep. You can take lavender oil. Okay. You can diffuse it in a diffuser. You can throw it around the room. Just kidding. You can throw it on your feet, maybe 1, 2, or 3 drops. This is what I do every night. Ready? You ready? So I take 1, 2, or 3 lavender drops, and I put it on one foot. I put my feet like this, and I go like this. Woo! And then, within about 20 minutes, the lavender goes through the skin, through the capillaries, and gets to my body and makes me relaxed. That's an easy one.
You're talking essential oils, correct? Lavender
Yes.
essential oils. So people don't,
Yes.
take a plant of lavender and try and put drops of that on them.
Yes, I've never tried that, but I'm gonna grow some this year. So I don't know. You could probably wipe some lavender on your body. I don't know how it's gonna go for you, but it smells good and it keeps the bugs away. It is a bug repellent.
Yeah. So what makes like an essential oil, like the way that it is, the drops and everything? Why does that work so well?
Well,
Or
it's very
or
concentrated.
whatever way that you're going to use it.
Brilliant question, Alan. It's very concentrated. So it's very concentrated and it's a liquid form. So it can go right through your skin. Your skin is very porous. Things go out and they come in. I was going to make a joke, but there's some parts of the body where things should just go out and they shouldn't be coming in. Okay. The skin is a two-way street, unlike some other parts of your body. Okay. That's for another time for my sexual courses. So yes, it's very easily absorbed by the body. I don't really recommend drinking essential oils. Lots of oh no, I just got bad news from a friend who tested positive for coronavirus. So we'll have to go on to coronavirus tips right now.
Yes, definitely.
Very sad time right here. So yeah, it absorbs very easily, very potent. I think one drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to 20 or so glasses of peppermint tea. I want to say it's very strong. So you can really overdose on your essential oils.
Well, hopefully no one's actually overdosing on essential oils, or that could be a whole other mess of problems. But
Jennifer's done it. She tries everything.
I mean, if you try everything, then you're going to know a little bit about everything. So, I mean, that's why I like shooting a video at totally different places, because I learn a lot. And that's why I like interviewing people.
Do you have any sleep tips? Do you have any things you do to get to sleep after your busy day?
Sleep tips. I just told you I destroyed my sleep schedule, but let me think for a second. I mean, I try not to be on my phone super late, with screens and everything. That's difficult. I don't know how much that actually helps. And, just trying to actively keep conscious of what time it is. Because, you might turn on the TV or something and start watching a movie. And then before you know it, it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So just being a little bit more conscious, with time.
Discipline, timing. You know what one thing I tell everyone to do? And it could seem selfish, especially for the women who they can't say no, and these women with the more maternal instincts, they want to say yes to everybody. You pick a time and you say goodbye to the world and you make it your time and you unplug, I call it. So maybe you unplug at 4 o'clock and you go to sleep at 9, or maybe you unplug at 9 o'clock. Now, for busy people like you and Jennifer, who deal with so many people all day, I saw Jennifer's phone. I check her phone sometimes. She got 50 messages or so just since midnight last night. Now, you got all these things going on, and you got to just say, you know what? Unplug. It's me time, relaxation time, and you compartmentalize what you're doing in your life, and you say, you know what? This is me time. It's rest time. Kind of like the vampires, they go in their coffin and they shut the world off and they wake up and they look so sexy and beautiful. They look sexy and beautiful because they're saying goodbye to the world. And it's very important to just tell everyone to go, oh, it's coffin time. I say goodbye now. I restore. And that's why vampires look so great. And that's why actually they live so long, because they say goodbye, guys.
Yes, definitely. So, Grandma Lucille, should we talk a little bit about coronavirus?
Yes, we should. Okay. Especially since I got a message during this broadcast. If I seem a little distracted,
yeah,
I was shooting. Yeah, I was a little distracted.
Do you want to talk about coronavirus, or do we want to go and bother Jen? It's up to you.
No. You know what? I in my days, I've seen some, and I haven't seen like this.
Yeah.
So I'd rather I'd rather step out and let me get Jennifer. It's just too sad. Celia, Jennifer told me so many great things about you, and it's just a pleasure to meet you. You're precious.
Yes, it was great to meet you today too. I'm so glad you were able to join us.
I crashed Jennifer's house, and I'm inviting you to crash her house as well. So,
All right.
darling, you keep sweet, okay? You get your sleep, and you take care of these wily maniacs. I want you to produce for them and edit and re-edit and fix things, and they have all these demands for you, okay? And you stand up for yourself.
Will do, Grandma.
Okay, I'll get Jennifer. Jennifer!
All right. Well, we're going to wait for Jennifer to come back. She can be here any moment, and we will talk a little bit about coronavirus. So, for those of you guys who, for those of you who have tuned in, we're talking about health today with Grandma Lucille and Jen. Jen has many, many, many different avenues and certifications in the world of health and wellness, and hopefully she'll be here soon so we can discuss a little bit about coronavirus. Hey, how's it going?
Oh my God. Sorry. My grandma told me that we were going on at like 1:30ish.
I know.
But
here you are.
So it was 1:00 instead?
Yeah, it was 1:00. I guess she intercepted our like messages for the past couple days.
She's always trying to steal my jobs, like the woman's an attention whore. That doesn't fall so far from the tree. So she said you want to talk about coronavirus?
Yes. Before we hop into coronavirus, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about your background and the different avenues that you are knowledgeable about? Because I know you have like 5,000 different titles. And then we'll hop into coronavirus.
All right. Sounds good. So my background today is my house. I have my therapy couches because I do health counseling. So 36 years young. I'm still talking like Grandma Lucille. I gotta step out of it. And I've been professionally teaching health and fitness since 2009. My grandparents, my grandma taught classes for Rheumatoid Foundation. She's been teaching health as long as I've been alive. So I've learned about health my entire life, to the point where I'd go to my grandparents' house and say, okay, what's the protein? So I've always been in health. I have been training tennis since 6 years old, but professionally, I have, let's see, some of my fitness certifications would be kettlebell, TRX, Junction Sword Fitness, Pilates mat, all different levels, Pilates reformer. I can even give you guys a tour of my gym downstairs, pretty extensive. And then after doing fitness full time for about 2.5 years, I became a certified health counselor. Not that that means much, because certifications, side note for anyone that isn't on this mindset, certifications really don't mean much, even though I have them. It's really about your internships and conferences and dealing with a lot of clients and different people and self-experimentation, which I've gotten myself into a lot of trouble. So I've basically been obsessed with health and learning as much as I can. And I've led different events with all different types of healers all over the world, from different doctors who've lost the ability to practice because they healed cancer naturally. I've met a lot of those, and that's a whole nother topic, and a lot of different natural healers. And so my whole life was health. And then around 2016, simply put, I really saw that what there was in 2018, there was over 200 websites, alternative news, that were taken off the internet, at least. And there's a lot of blocking going on for anyone that promotes cures that doesn't really jive with the mainstream media. So around 2016, I kind of got the message loud and clear. I saw enough people being harassed, and I decided just to focus on beauty, which my plan is a makeover plan for abs and butts. I taught that for 2.5 years full time, and I decided to add on hair and makeup because that's not really controversial. And I pretty much decided to dumb myself down in 2016 and get into acting. And since that, I think I'm in 8 movies or so, maybe more. I really lost count, and I'm doing a lot of film work, which is really fun. And simply, that's part of my health plan, is doing art. I went to school for art and psychology, so that's me. Basically, simply put, to wrap up who I am, I do lots and lots of things in health guidebook, training. I used to do seminars, group things, and then also entertainment, from producing short films to acting in them, producing photo shoots, and that's my life. Health and art. Everything else, if it's not related, I honestly don't do it. I don't go out to lunch. I don't go out to dinner. I don't go out for drinking anymore. I did that in my 20s. I had a great time. And now it's health and art.
That's it. That's my entire life.
Yeah, I was trying to explain to someone who I was having on today, and I was just like, I'm just going to take a picture of all of the stuff she has on the side of her Facebook, and that is the explanation. Because you have a lot of different knowledge, which is why I want to talk a little bit about coronavirus, because obviously you have all these different backgrounds and you have different tips for the symptoms of coronavirus.
Yeah, and I try to make the tips in languages that people can understand and really bring it so it's digestible for everyone. So that's what I'm going to do now. So a simple one, and this applies to whether you have coronavirus or not. I had someone a couple of days ago, Friday, who I spoke to, thought she had coronavirus, was nervous. I'm doing, for anyone that tunes in, thinks you have coronavirus, thinks you are afraid that you might die or afraid you're going to choke, just call me. You don't have to needlessly suffer. I'm doing 100% complimentary session. So I did one Friday. Turns out she doesn't have coronavirus, but this still applies to her living a healthier life and to a lot of different colds, and the cold is a coronavirus. So one premise is removing mucus. So if you have congestion issues, if you have even brain fog issues, if you just kind of feel slower, because if you are congested in your mind with mucus and you're congested in your stomach, if your digestive system is backed up, it's going to affect your mentality and your creativity. So removing mucus, that's a premise in Chinese medicine. They talk a lot about mucus. Americans don't really talk about mucus very much. So some ways to do that will be sipping hot water. Sipping hot fluids throughout the day helps to break up the mucus, whereas cold, just think of like cold butter. It's going to be solid, right, at room temperature. But if you heat that butter up, it's going to melt and go through your system. So simple, everyone can do it. Hot water. And if you want to make it even more mucus relieving, add some lemon, lime, ginger to the water. You can just squeeze it. You can blend a whole bunch. I would recommend blending an orange, a lemon, a lime, a grapefruit, blend it all together, blend it separately, some type of citrus with the seeds. The seeds are anti-candida, by the way. So if you're having yeast issues, the seeds actually combat the candida, whereas the sugar in the orange feeds it. So side note, that's why you'd want to eat the whole food, the whole orange together, because while it might trigger candida, the sugar, the seeds are actually going to be anti-candida. So now you got everything together. So I would take some citrus, put it in your hot water, and I love the 7-Eleven, and then drink that throughout the day. Because the citrus, just like you might clean a countertop with lemon, or I haven't heard lime, but lemons get all the attention. It can clean your countertops. Your digestive tract, it can be different sludge, we'll just say, can get broken apart with the lemon. And eating lemons, citrus helps to move through your digestive tract and also to get your lymph moving. You got more lymph than you have blood, and you got to get your lymph moving. So that's another concept, is reducing mucus, getting your lymph moving, and doing things that move your lymph, like waving my arms. That's why I'm doing this a lot, because I didn't work out today. So I got to get my lymph moving. Otherwise, my brain's going to be stagnant, and it's going to contribute to disease. Mm-hmm. So citrus in hot water. That's one thing you can do, a whole list.
So my question for you is there a difference between using a fresh lemon or like the lemon, juiced lemon in like the bottle?
Okay, so yeah, let's get into enzymes. So if you're one of these people that are very in tune with energies and vibration and auras and Kirlian photography, this can seem very woo-woo. So I found this out a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago, and I was like, I don't know. But I investigate all these things, and there seems to be some type of truth to it. So if you want to have your vibration on high and you want to be producing something and be firing on all cylinders, I find having fresh keeps me more focused and more clear. It was when I have things in bottles that are older and are more shelf stable for weeks or months or years, there's some juices that can last for a year. It's going to be devoid of enzymes. So either the vibration is going to be lower, okay? And we'll move on for vibration because that's a little bit of a woo-woo concept. And a tangible concept is enzymes. Your enzymes, if something's shelf stable for even more than a day, the enzyme content is going to be lower. So why do we care about enzymes? Is because you have your enzymes are a catalyst, right? Your food is a substrate, kind of fits together. So when you are, what's the word? Pasteurized. The pasteurization system. When you pasteurize food, you heat it, right? And you're going to denature or misshapen the enzyme. So now the enzyme doesn't fit so well into the substrate, into the food. So it's not going to be breaking that down. So basically, you need your enzymes to be intact and not damaged to fit into the food you eat, to break it down, and then you digest it, and then you feel good, and then you get the nutrients it needs. The nutrients assimilate properly. But if you destroy those enzymes by heating it above 103 or 118, you are going to destroy it, and now it can't break down your food as much. So that's one premise to moving your lymph. Even mucus, feeling better, you got to have enzymes every single day. And enzymes are in fresh lemons. Now, if you have the lemon juice on the shelf, if it can stay there, it's been pasteurized, which means that the enzymes have been denatured so it doesn't go bad on the shelf. You want fresh juices, fresh food. So I don't really recommend any juice that can stay good or delicious for more than a day. There's a lot of juices out there that are high pressure pasteurized, so there's probably still some enzymes intact and there's some value to it, but it's going to be a lot lower enzyme content. So therefore the ability for it to heal your body, simply put, is going to be a lot lower.
Gotcha. So at that point, it's more so just to put the taste in something instead of getting the most out of it that you can.
Exactly.
Interesting. Because I know that a lot of people are nervous about fresh fruit and fresh vegetables right now with coronavirus.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't know a lot of things about this. So we don't know if the virus can be inside of the lemons or the limes.
I think
we don't know.
The concern is more so just people touching.
Yeah. So on the outside, I'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you. I have a bunch of videos on this. I'm going to take you on a little tour without destroying something. All right. So this is what I'm doing right now for some broccoli that I got. I'm a risk taker, and the broccoli was loose. So I'm gonna make sure that the broccoli is a little submerged before I cook it. I have baking soda and a little vinegar. I'm soaking this with potatoes. Once you soak it for a while, fully submerged, then you scrub it. I have an electric sensor. Then you scrub it with this. And then I'm actually going to cook it in the oven. I'm going to make roasted vegetables like I did the other day. So cooking it's going to destroy the virus. I don't think the virus can stay intact over 100 degrees. I forget the number, but I don't think it can stay active at more than 90 something, 100 degrees. Don't quote me on that one though.
Gotcha.
So that you could do it, and then you can have fruits and vegetables, because we can't just resort to eating oatmeal right now. It's not going to work. That causes mucus, by the way. Oatmeal is going to increase your mucus.
Interesting. So
yeah.
Sorry I derailed the food conversation. I know that you have a list of tips. So what would be a good thing to supplement with, obviously, the water and the citrus?
Supplement with the water and the citrus?
Maybe not supplement, but have in addition to the water and the citrus.
Okay, yeah. So other things you can do to reduce mucus would be avoiding dairy. That's an obvious one most people know. Cut out the dairy. Oatmeal is a surprising one that can increase mucus in the body. Having astringent vegetables and having sour vegetables like pickles, arugula, let's see, dandelion greens. Most people don't eat that, and they can be a little rough, but that can help to break up mucus. Basically, things that taste more bitter, things that are going to taste more bland, like milk and oatmeal, generally don't break up mucus. So you could do roasted vegetables and stir fries. I have a lot of tips on that. Onions and garlic are great for methylation. So methylation is another one. It's not really a mucus thing, but it's a total body health thing. So simply put, methylation regulates a lot of different systems in the body, just like vitamin D does as well. If you're low on methylation, you're low on vitamin D, expect a lot of your organs and systems and cell metabolism just not to work well. So 2 things you want to do is make sure your vitamin D is up. Ideally, go outside. Go outside as naked as you can, get some sunlight, or go by a window and get some sunlight, at least 15 minutes. And then methylation, a lot of the sulfur-rich vegetables have methylating qualities. So I'll put that in the comments because methylation is a really complicated one, but you want to make sure you get those. Another one you could do, moving on from methylation and vitamin D, would be eating foods that naturally have antiviral properties. And a lot of foods have antiviral properties and antibacterial properties. And even though it's a bacteria, we're all aware that this is not a bacteria, supposedly this coronavirus can weaken your system. So now you're more susceptible to bacteria infections. So I would say it's very important to be eating foods every day that give us a dose of antimicrobial, antibacterial, and antiviral. Antiviral, garlic. That's a big one.
Yep.
Garlic is big. And antibacterial foods. Basically, fruits and vegetables have a lot of these components, and herbs. So you can get like mint. I'm growing mint right now. Mint is antimicrobial. So we have antibacterial that can actually kill the bacteria. But let's say we have a few left and they can multiply now. Now, antimicrobial helps prevent it from multiplying. So you actually work together. So you want to do both. So mints, you just blend up some mints with kiwis. That's delicious. A little like virgin mojito.
Well, that actually ties in. We have a question. So Mark Torres wants to know, what are your tips for to be healthy on for those on a limited or strict budget? You've brought up a lot of different kinds of vegetables and things that aren't super expensive. So what would be your tips for Mark's question?
Excellent. So the last year or so, I've been really focused on frugal eating. My boyfriend's a big influence on that. He's just very smart with buying really healthy food. He's one of the healthiest people I know, very cheaply. So, okay, Trader Joe's is great. Shout out to Brian Glick, who works there and is keeping a positive attitude. So Trader Joe's is great. I hear, what is that new store? It's not Aldi. I forget, but there's a new store that just opened and it's a lot cheaper. Of course, growing food. So it'd be great to have someone like me and become friends and maintain friendships with people that grow food, and you can barter with them. I'm doing that presently. I get food deliveries. Also, if you don't have access to these cheaper stores and bartering and growing your own, frozen vegetables. Frozen vegetables are usually a bit cheaper than fresh. So that's great. Frozen vegetables. Frozen fruit, I'd always keep that stocked as well. Sales, looking at the sales, even Whole Foods has sales sometimes on different foods. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, I do subscribe to the frozen vegetable world. I get my peas, I get my broccoli. You can typically get those kinds of things pretty cheap, and they last forever. Not actually forever, but for a long time. And
rice, potatoes, oranges, apples, get them in bags. That's another one you do. Get that.
And also, if you're buying proteins like chicken or beef or something, go somewhere like Costco where you can buy it in bulk instead of buying maybe what you're going to have for the next day or two at a time, because it's just going to cost more buying it in small packages at a time.
Yeah. Potato is actually very high in potassium. A lot of people overlook the potatoes. I used to think potatoes were bad, but if you're working out, there's actually a whole book called, from Ross Sheffrin told me about this, I had no idea, called Potatoes Not Prozac. And it talks about potatoes actually helping your moods. And it's a great source of carbs, and carbs equal serotonin. So bags of food is a good idea. Canning, you can dry your own food if you get access to farmers markets or cheap food. If you have a dehydrator, you can get one for $100 or $200. You can dehydrate food yourself instead of buying dehydrated food, which gets extremely expensive. You can learn to can. I haven't done that. There's
also, I don't know if it's hit Long Island yet, but there's different, it's a website that they get the less pretty fruits and vegetables that they will send to you. Which one
Misfit Market? I think it's Misfit Market.
I know there's a couple of them, but if there is not, if it's a pretty weird looking cucumber or something where it's either curved a little too much or has a second cucumber coming out of it, grocery stores don't want that. So this other service will, deliver it to you for a discounted rate. So those are a couple of different tips that we have.
Yeah, Misfit Market. And one friend I know who's a total food snob, and that's actually a big reason why we're even friends. If he wasn't, I don't think I'd be friends with him. He's the one who told me about Misfit Market and gave me a whole tour of his refrigerator of all the stuff that you get. And this is for even rich and snobby people. Misfit Market, $20 a week, and you get, I think, 2 pounds of fruits and vegetables. So I got to sign up for that. Misfit Market.
Yeah, I want to sign up for it too, because I'm weird because whenever Eric, my boyfriend, is over, that's when I cook meats and proteins. But on all the other days, I'm eating things that are based in vegetables, fruits, beans, rice, all of these things. So
Yeah.
to have 2 pounds delivered to my house each week, that would definitely take all of my meals and upgrade them a bit.
$20, you just can't be picky because you're going to get whatever they give you. So you have to be adaptable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Another way to
what?
that was a good question. Other questions?
That was the only one I'm seeing right now. But if people have questions, put them in the comments. So let's circle back to coronavirus tips for a moment. What else can we be doing?
So mucus, I'm going to go back to mucus. So a lot of people taking Mucinex, I would say try to take as few supplements as you can. It just stresses the liver and the kidneys, but a lot of them are great. So a natural way to dispel mucus, everyone knows, well, most people know you take a hot bath or hot shower and you blow your nose in the shower. Now, I've been meaning to do a video on this since 2010 when I got my only sinus infection. So I'm going to do a very quick demo of what's called milking the sinuses or face massage. So whether you have if you don't have coronavirus, you just want to feel clearer, maybe you're trying to do a speaking, or maybe you just have allergies. This is great for people who have allergies and feel congested or they have sinus pressure. And this is also for people that have mucus and they want to dispel the mucus, and the mucus is over here. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick demo. It might take me about a minute to show this. Ready?
That's fine.
All right, so we're gonna start. You want to start from the bottom. So if you think of you think of something, you want to unclog it here, so then it has somewhere to go, right? So I'll do like a percolation, a tapping technique, and I'll really tap really hard. So I'm using my hands, and I've done this on actually a few people, and after this, they didn't have to take sinus medication. I literally sat down and did this on some people. It's great. So you can tap around. Now I would take coconut oil, and you're massaging down. If you do it without coconut oil or olive oil or whatever lube you want to use, it's going to pull on your skin. So you want to be lubed up on that. You go push it down. You're pushing that down. You're pushing the fluid down on the sides of your neck, behind your ears. And then I'm going to do this very fast. So this should take you between 5, 10, 15 minutes. So I'm doing a quick one. So you go here and you tap again. Then you go a little higher, maybe an inch or two higher. You're going to go here. And then you're going to push it all down, push it all down, push it all down. Then we're going to go up here. We're going to tap. Maybe you tap really hard. Maybe you tap like this right here. Maybe you have one of those face massagers or some type of vibrating massage thing, and you put it on your face too, because that helps also to break up the mucus. Then you're going to push it down, push it down. Then you're going to go here. And you're going to tap, 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 tap. I can actually feel clear already. I can feel things moving. And I usually don't get too congested. It's not my issue. I get brain fog. And then you're going to push it down again. So you have oil all over your face or moisturizer. And then you're going to go here. You can change the order a little bit. You just want to make sure you start here. And you're going here. And you're tap, tap, tap. You're really tapping because you want to physically break up the mucus. You have to physically move energy in the body. A lot of people don't realize that. Like for back pain, they don't realize you have to actually move the fascia and move the mucus and move the lymph. You can't just take different medications. You're going to go here.
I was trying it over here, and I already feel like difference. Totally.
Right? You feel clear, right? You can see better.
With the neck, I was like, oh, weird. This is weird, but it works.
And then you go here, and then you'll start here again. But you do the whole thing, and this is great if you just have any pressure or anyone who's a performer on any level, even a teacher. Teachers are performers. My mom's a librarian; she's a performer. A lot of us are performers, and or you just need to be here for your family. Maybe you're a mother or your father, and you just feel out of it. And this is going to make you a lot clearer. And I would try this before taking different sinus medications. So this is one that if you have coronavirus and you think you're choking and you got to get the mucus out, ideally do this either before you go in the shower to break things up, or in the shower, and you're doing this in the shower or the bath, because the heat helps to break things up as well while sipping hot water. You want to do it at once. Sip hot water, breathe in maybe hot water with some peppermint. There's another one I forget. And in the shower, and blow your nose, because all these things are going to come out. You might see some pretty gross stuff when you're done with this.
But as long as it clears out, then you're all good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you a little bit about the brain fog thing. So what do you do to combat that? Because I know I get that too, because I'm just like, okay, there's a wall here now and I have stuff I need to do and I can't get past it. So what do you do for brain fog?
My whole life. So that's one of my issues because I don't really get stomach issues and I don't get sinus issues. I've never had a headache in my entire life, maybe
Oh, that's
30
awesome.
seconds. But I'll get brain fog or I'll get like a depressed mood where I just can't think straight. So I would say my answer is about 6 hours long because my entire life is like based around not getting brain fog. I'll try to avoid things like popcorn. So like even if I want popcorn, I love food. I eat recreationally. It's one way I de-stress. I do use food. I wouldn't have popcorn before a meeting. I wouldn't have junk food or foods that are dry or dehydrated. I find contribute to brain fog, and foods that are more hydrating, like cucumbers and watermelon. Fresh fruits and vegetables, especially raw or very lightly cooked, they seem to make me clearer. Drinking, what I do, like today, right? I do drink coffee, but I limit myself to 1 coffee a day. So hot waters. And after this, I'm going to sip hot water all day. And that helps with brain fog. And before this, I blend up sprouts and I have wheatgrass cubes, sprouts and wheatgrass. Very, very helpful for brain fog. And fresh greens. Yeah, there's a fresh greens powder. So I have a green drink and I have a drink with lemon or ginger or both and even hot pepper. That helps to break things up. And I'll have coffee. So I'll make these 3 drinks. Anyone who stays at my house and has a morning routine is just like, oh my God, you're like a mad scientist in the morning because you get the fluid going and you hydrate yourself because we're all dehydrated in the morning. All of us are. That's what happens. Our blood is thicker. It's coagulated in the morning. So in order to make that blood move, you hydrate. So I'll do all of that. That's my morning routine every day. And I wake up foggy and it makes me I was really tired when I woke up before, but I do all this.
It was an overcast whatever day, and it rained the second that I went to like turn on the stream, and I was just like, oh no, it's gonna be one of those days. But
these things won't matter.
That's true.
Yeah.
I getcha. So
yeah, the hot water, all that's a big help, and food ordering. Food ordering. So there's the orders of foods, and that helps with brain fog too. So let's say you're going to have honeydew and steak. Weird combo, but steak takes a while to digest, maybe a few hours or a few days, depends on who you talk to. You wouldn't have the steak first and then have a honeydew, which breaks down in under an hour, because then the honeydew is going to be digesting and possibly fermenting, sitting on top of the steak, and you cause a blockage. That when we hinder and screw up our digestion, we're going to trigger mental issues. Anything we do to our gut, we're doing to our brain. So I would reverse it, and you have the honeydew first. So you have fruits and vegetables that break down faster, and then you have foods like steak or rice or popcorn. Let's say beans break down slower than fruit, and you have that order. So just think of that ordering. If you're going to have things that are drier and dehydrated and break down more slowly, have those later in the day, or have them at a time where you can be a little sleepy, and have the quicker digesting foods first. That's a big one.
Is that why people have salads before they have something like steak or a heavy thing like that? Or
maybe, yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe, but you also do fruit. A lot of restaurants give you fruit after your meal, and that's terrible. You want to do the fruit first.
That makes sense. So like a fruit salad or something like that beforehand would be a better thing to have than after as a dessert. I think they do that with sweet.
Sweet, like, yeah, exactly. We're culturally primed to have sweet. So I'll do sweeter things that, if I need to be alert, I'll follow that rule. If I'm right before bed, I don't follow these rules. I eat everything all at once because I'm going to bed, but I know I'm going to wake up foggier.
Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense. So let's circle back to coronavirus because we keep going on these really interesting tangents. But what else can we be doing? Because I know that obviously like food consumption is super, super important. What else can we be eating to help with different symptoms?
Well, definitely no smoking, no vaping. Right on the screen before we started, I saw some articles saying that smoking ups your possibility of getting injured by coronavirus. Of course. You don't want to do anything that's going to damage your lungs ever. So stop smoking. Also, things that damage your lungs would be toxic cleaning products. So this is a good time if you haven't already. I switched to Melaleuca. I don't sell Melaleuca, but I guess I could. I don't really sell many things that I believe in. I really like the Melaleuca products. There's a lot of great lines of healthy cleaning products that don't damage the damage your nasal cavity, that don't damage your entire respiratory system. So cut out the harmful cleaning products, because it's gonna make you more susceptible to the different things that are gonna damage your respiratory system, possibly coronavirus. So natural cleaning. Also avoiding food coloring. Food coloring is going to cause behavioral issues. Sugar definitely hinders the immune system. Just simply put, I can go on 3 hours of just sugar, but you want to definitely avoid all processed food, all junk. Basically, think of it like this: when we eat something, hopefully we get certain valuable nutrients from the food. And it takes energy to break down and to metabolize every food we eat. So we're always going to take some level of energy it's going to take away from us, right? So if we eat food, let's say fast food, that we're going to say just gives us nothing, now we're in an energy deficit or in a health deficit, because we're using our body's energy to break down this fast food, right? So we're bringing our energy lower, and we don't get any food in return. We don't get any nutrients in return. So we go into an energy deficit. Now, let's say we have kiwis. It takes some energy for our body to metabolize that kiwi, but we get so many things from that kiwi, like potassium, omega. We're getting actually some fat. The seeds have fat, vitamin C. Those are 3 things right there, and fiber. Wow. So now our energy is going to go up. So anytime we eat, we need to restore our body's energy and give our body the ability to fight off intruders. A virus is an intruder. So just think of keeping our bodies like health warriors. So we're always eating things that give us some type of value, and we're not eating anything that gives us nothing. Just like friends, we shouldn't be friends with people that don't have any benefit, because then we're going to be sapped of energy or sapped of money, and we don't get anything. So always putting things in our body that give us more energy, more value than it takes to get rid of. So fruits and vegetables have a lot of value.
I think that you make a really good point, and I think now is a really good time to take consideration as to of what you're eating. You're cooking, you're home. A lot of people always have the excuse, oh, well, I'm not home, so I don't have time to cook. What else are you guys doing right now? Not that you're doing nothing, but now is the time where you have both foresight to see what's in your food and the time to, figure out what you like, figure out different combinations that work for you, and try and just increase the amount of good vegetables and things that you have in your life.
Right. I had someone who called me a few weeks ago, thought he had coronavirus, still recovering, and he was eating a lot of noodles. I'm not going to say his name, but he was eating a lot of noodles. Now, some noodles can have some nutrients, but the ones he was having gave him nothing. And it could be mucus producing. It wasn't dispelling the mucus. So I said, switch to a mucus reducing diet, like we just listed a bunch of things. And in 48 hours, he felt a lot better. So it's not the time to be toxifying your body with just crap foods. And a lot of the standard American diet is a lot of crap foods, like a lot of cereal. I have a 4 or 5 page article I wrote over 10 years ago, why cereal is a loser breakfast. Most cereal, there's always exceptions to every rule. So we need to get out of the thinking of having cereal, sandwiches. When we got to food ordering, we talked about, but food combining is another huge topic. But if you're having issues with feeling like you need more energy, or you need to keep your being in optimal shape to fight off the intruder, the coronavirus, you might consider food combining. If you're, this is really reaching out there. And simply put, you're going to take your fruit, you're going to have that first, maybe 4 hours or 3 hours ahead, ideally, maybe even an hour ahead, not ideal. And you're going to take greens and have your greens with proteins, or you'll have your greens with rice or greens with carbs. So you're basically keeping your protein, your carbs separate, because it takes an alkaline or an acid substance to break down the protein or the carbs. Now, when you have proteins and carbs together, now the body's releasing an alkaline substance and an acid substance. When you put them together, now you have a neutral substance that doesn't break down anything. So you got a bunch of food that's just sitting there and not digesting. You're going to get brain fog. You're going to get digestive issues. You're going to get flatulence and bloating. So if you don't want flatulence and bloating, you're staying home with someone, you coronavirus, you can actually never get gas. Really, I'll do this almost all the time. You don't really have to get gas if you watch your food combining and your food ordering and your bloating. So you won't get brain fog if you watch your food combinations and keep that all separate.
I'm thinking back to There was some of the things that I bought were like ground beef. And there was one day where I made burgers, and there was one day where I just kind of made the ground beef and ate the essential parts of a burger, but without the bun.
Exactly.
The day that I had the bun, I felt tired. I had like a solid 2 hours where I was like, I can't do anything. I can't right now. I'm tired. Like that. I never really put that together, but it makes a really good point that combining certain things is going to affect you differently. So
right, definitely.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And if you want a burger, I like to eat a lot of foods. People say, oh, people that don't know me might think I eat rabbit food. I eat a lot. So I used to do this. I hired a health counselor in like 2007, 2008, and that's how I got into this. And the meals I was eating was deconstructed burgers. So I would take a burger, put it on, I would saute onions and mushrooms, and the burger and the mushrooms would be hot. Put that over a lettuce or a salad with cucumbers and put that all together. So now you're having the protein with lots and lots of greens. It's huge. It's satiating. It's a deconstructed burger. It tastes like you're eating a burger kind of, but without the bun. But you can also do a low carb or keto bun. So you actually, if you get creative, you can actually have burgers, but not the conventional.
Yeah, that's an awesome point with combining and ordering. I didn't think about that, and I think on some sub level, like I've noticed different aspects, but the way that you brought it up and the way that you explained it kind of put it all together. So that was really cool. Do you have any last tips? I don't want to keep you all afternoon, and maybe you can come back in the future, but do you have any ones that you think would be super important today?
Definitely getting sunlight, definitely walking. Even if you're sick, you can walk around the house. When I do phone calls or meetings, I'm always walking around, getting my blood moving, getting my lymph moving. And now that's going to help to excrete toxins that should be out of there, because we're all taking in toxins on some level. And to release worry and fear, because worry and fear can actually change the chemicals that were released and change our entire bodies and actually act like a depressant. So a natural antidepressant is to really be mindful of your thoughts and to control your thoughts, which I've practiced for a while. It takes a lot of practice, and I'm still not there, but I'm thinking something that's scary. I just think, okay, that's going to ruin my wellness. So let's either handle it, put it down, or put it somewhere else. And my final thought would be to go back to the burger. A lot of the different breads and buns can trigger inflammation. Inflammation is associated with nearly every disease and the symptoms that are then diagnosed as diseases. So if you're triggering inflammation, a lot of times you are going to feel some brain fog. And with people that suffer from clinical depression and just brain fog, which is, I guess, not something you'd be hospitalized for, but I have seen clients with depression right out of the hospital. You're going to get, the inflammation is going to cause brain fog. So avoiding any food that's going to cause inflammation, not good. And also it puts your body out of the healing state. So if you want to heal from coronavirus, make sure you're following an anti-inflammatory diet, which is about 200 pages of info right there.
I gotcha. And I'm not trying to cut you off or anything. Do you want to say a couple of words about the fear and everything before we hop off? Or are you good? Because I know that there's a lot that we can talk about on that, and that might be a whole other great episode to do.
Yeah, that's a whole nother one. But I guess with fear, I'll just share what I'm doing, because I only like to, preach what I practice.
Of course. Like I said, we have no time limit on here. So yeah, I don't want to take up all of your valuable time.
No, it's all good. I like this. So I'll just show you. My grandma gave me these candelabras. So I have candles all over my house that are LED, because my great grandpa was a fireman in New York City. And I've learned so much about how to not start fires, and that's almost on a comical level. So I have all of these LEDs, probably like 60 or so, all over my house and in my gym. And I made this routine a couple years ago and it's basically, no matter what kind of day I'm having, whether the world is ending or feels like it's ending, or there's going to be protests tomorrow on the 22nd for this lockdown to get people back to work, which is another topic. I basically, as soon as the sun goes down, my rule is that I don't use fluorescent lights. I don't even use my LED lights. I don't use almost any artificial light except these glowy amber LED lights. And I also take the filter on my phone and computer, and I have a blue light filter. So one way to de-stress is to basically pick a time that you can realistically check out from the world. I just almost every day, and maybe I check out for 20 minutes, maybe I check out for 7 hours. It depends on the day. And I have no artificial light. I have these glowy candles. I have candlelight, and I will maybe watch TV, I'll walk around, maybe I'll spend time with one person who's very relaxing, and we'll only talk about really fun stuff. We're not going to be talking about coronavirus. So it's very important, I think, to check out and have a relaxation routine. So I basically am in go mode right now, right? But I'm going to switch, I don't know, maybe around 9 or 10 o'clock. I'm going to switch to chill mode, maybe 8 o'clock. We'll see. And then that's it. I'm not getting back to anyone. I'm not checking messages. I'm doing nothing that's stressful. I'm just restoring so then I can be full of energy and come back tomorrow with full of power.
Sorry, I was like intently listening. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I obviously, like, right now I have all of these bright lights and everything like in my studio, and it really does make a difference the kind of lights you have around you throughout the day, because my boyfriend asks me all the time, like, why at night do I want to use the lamp on the side of my bed instead of the bright light on the top of my room? And it's because I'm trying to wind down, I'm trying to relax. And it does make a difference, because if I have an overhead bright light on, I'm going to be like, all right, I should still be doing things. I shouldn't be, getting ready for bed. I can go and I can fold clothes. I can go and clean the bathroom, whatever it may be. But if you take that time to like wind down, change the lighting, change the connotation of your surroundings, it's really going to make a difference mentally instead of
mentally, on an association level, and also on a melatonin level. So if we have cherries have lots of melatonin. We can eat cherry juice or blended cherries a couple hours before bed, gets a lot of melatonin. Melatonin's in our gut. And two, we can regulate our own melatonin by changing the lights, because once we have, even if we put on a bright light, let's say in the bathroom or on our phones, 10 seconds, supposedly, I can't see inside the body, but research says that it stops the release of melatonin. So now we're going from a sleep state where melatonin is being released, ideally at 9 o'clock if our circadian rhythms are great, to a wakeful state. So you don't want to even turn on lights even to go to the bathroom. So I have candles, like fake candles in my bathroom. I keep 1 or 2 on. So just in case I got to get up or go to the kitchen, there's always a candle on, and I don't have to go into this wakeful state.
So would you say that doing something like watching television before bed would affect that too? Because it is a bright light and it's usually a blue LED.
It's not ideal. It's not ideal. If you can lower the dimness on your computer, your phone, or your TV, do that. I'll do that. And also watch things that aren't really going to trigger you. I mean, some people can watch Evil Dead. That doesn't work for me. I like the show Evil Dead. It's great. But I will get nightmares, and it'll trigger me, and it'll trigger adrenaline, and it triggers like the news. So I watch trash TV before I go to bed. It's one of my guilty pleasures. I watch
a lot of like food docs and like travel, whatever, with the pretty pictures and stuff like that. But my thing is, I think it's because of like the blue light and stuff from the TV. Like, I'll be like, oh, I'm not tired yet. I'll just watch the next thing. It's 2 o'clock in the morning now. I guess it's time to go to sleep. So that definitely attributes to my sleep problems.
Could be the blue light, and it could be that you're a creative and you do documentary type work, and it triggers ideas. So lately, I don't even watch documentary. I don't watch anything that's going to give me creative or producer ideas, and I watch trash TV, like really crazy,
like Love Is Blind level TV.
Yes.
Okay.
And Vanderpump Rules. I have never watched Real Housewives until a few weeks ago, but I was so afraid of this coronavirus that Sonia Morgan, a Real Housewife in New York, she's so crazy and fun crazy that she distracts me from the coronavirus.
Hey, I mean, that's why everyone's watching Tiger King.
That too.
Because they hear it's so ridiculous and crazy that they need to take a look at it. And yes, there are, like, on the producing and production end, some amazing things that they did, especially with the storytelling, but it's crazy out there stuff.
Tiger King gives me too many ideas, actually. It doesn't really work for me because I'm working on some things I can't talk about that are kind of related to movie making on that level, and I'll start getting ideas. So it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I definitely, with like the food documentaries and the travel things, I was watching something and I'm so upset that they only did 8 episodes, but it's a Netflix show. They were doing like restaurant renovations where it was like the renovation, drinks, food, and just all the beautiful shots of where they were. So it's just like me being like stimulated from all these different things. Oh, I shoot this. Oh, that's really interesting, whatever. So probably not the best thing to watch before bed.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's different. So maybe that works for you, but I just have a rule. I just have to just check out. It's in my life is so much better ever since I started doing this a few years ago. I noticed that I can do such things that require such intense focus and perform at such an extreme level when I don't have someone here all the time, which is key. Having someone here takes my energy on them.
Yep.
So the roommate thing is a problem. And then also not checking out. Yeah.
Yeah, I always had like in the back of my head, like, oh, like someone's here, someone's doing something, like what are they doing in this space, like whatever. And I'm here by myself right now and I'm doing pretty good. So
it's good. And there's different studies. This is out there, but there's some study I heard in 2017. I have to find it, very interesting, but they had a huge building and there was rooms, almost like an institution, and they somehow figured out, this was a physics video, that someone in this part of the building could actually feel and interact with on like a heart energetic level over here. And I got to tell you, if someone's in my house at all, of course, you know, tangibly, you know it, but my energy, everything feels different. And if nothing's in my space, I can really focus a lot better.
Yeah, if someone was here all the time, I don't think I would be doing this web show every day and getting all the things done that I'm getting done. So, and also just like the in the back of your head, you feel like you're hosting the whole time, no matter what it is. Like if someone's there, Eric is like, you don't have to host when I'm over, but I'm like, yeah, but you're over, so I'm like gonna make sure that we're eating or something. I don't know. So there's many different aspects of that.
I'm the same with my boyfriend, exactly same. It's like, you know, I want to make sure I'm like available. I'm not a total, you know, piece of crap. And there's one theory. I subscribe to this. Who is a speaker? There's some speaker, and he was hypothesizing that a lot of the great creatives in history would not be these legendary types had they had a significant other or had they had like a love life. And I got to tell you, when I'm 7 days a week into a love life, my creativity, my output, it goes down all the time. So I have to basically choose loner life a couple days a week, or I'm not going to do anything that I want to do in my life. I'm not going to reach any goal. Yeah.
I understand that. Luckily, Eric does the same thing that I do. So we can work, we can not work, and it works out. So I lucked out on that one.
Yeah, you did. It's great. Yeah, you guys are a good team.
Yeah, I don't know if he's watching right now. I know he was watching earlier, but hey, Eric, if you're here. But yeah, we got into many different topics today, and I want to thank you so much for coming on. And I know that you have so much more information to share, so we'll have to have you back another day.
I love it. So fun.
You're always fun to talk to, and you have so many different like avenues that you've discovered and this and that, and like I enjoy speaking with you because obviously with me talking to so many different people, shooting with so many different people, like I know a little bit about a lot of things, and it's fun to learn a bit more. So thank you again for coming on today, and I really appreciate you taking the time.
Everything you just said, ditto. Ditto. A wealth of information in your head.
I try. But for anyone who wants to get a hold of you, what is the best way? I know I have your links below, but what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, text message if it's important. Text is the first if it's time sensitive, and calling. And then next would be maybe Facebook Messenger. Just if it's time sensitive, put the word important and I'll in bold, and I'll go right to that because I'm missing a lot of messages. Instagram DM, so we'll have all the info there, and email, put the word important if it's time sensitive, because things are just, everyone's home and wants to talk, or they're worried, or it's a very interesting time. But I have to say that communication has gone up maybe 300-fold since March 11th for me. It's very weird.
Yeah, for me too. I've been in contact with a lot of people, and it's not just one time. It's like it's either throughout like days, like I'll be talking to them, or I'll talk to them every couple of days. But like I was scrolling through my texts to look to see like, oh, when did I talk to this person? And it was down far, and it was only like a couple days ago. So I have the same reaction as you with people reaching out and talking.
it's hard and people get mad. I saw some comedian had added me. All these comedians added me a couple weeks, and then this one guy messaged me, and I guess I couldn't get to it. You know, a week for me is kind of fast. And a week later, I responded, and I see that he unfriended me, and he's like, "Oh, thanks for the response a week later." And it's like, dude, you know, not to be nasty, but if you have a lot of people messaging you, and this goes for family as well and great friends, I'm missing it. It's not personal. Like you can't keep up with Messenger has no way to prioritize messages. So there's no way to keep things, you know, going all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, I've been doing my best to get a hold of everyone and respond to everyone, and everyone wants an answer now. But you know, sometimes you need to take a couple hours to decompress, like we said earlier. So if you guys message us, we will get back to you as quickly as we can.
Right. You got to focus on this day. And that's one of my systems. It's like, if I know I have a very strict schedule that's color coded and bolded, so you were on my schedule today and you're like on this part of the list. So I will make sure that when I see a message from you today, I get back to it right away. But if you're not on the day of the schedule, guess what? You get ignored. Because if you stop at every dog that barks, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah, I getcha. I run into that all the time with emails, and I'm like, oh, wait, but I have like 7 that I need to get back to right now. But anyway, I digress with our social media response times. But thank you again, and I'm gonna pull you off of here, but stick around for a moment. I want to thank you on camera. So
awesome.
Thank you everyone who. Wow, I can't speak now. Thank you everyone It's Tuesday apparently. Thank you to everyone who tuned in today. I really appreciate you sitting down with us and learning a little bit about different kinds of health. Obviously, health is a big topic right now, and I know I'm researching all these different things, but it's really great to hear from obviously people who are living this, testing this, and finding out what actually works. So thank you again to Jen for being on today. I really appreciate it. If you guys are looking to watch this live from the beginning, it's going to live on the Celia Werner Productions Facebook page, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Spotify podcasts. So I finally got us on Spotify. I've been doing a little bit of research. So you can find us in any of those places. And obviously, if you guys want to follow Jen, her information's in the description. Any likes, follows, or shares are extremely, extremely appreciated because we're doing these shows every day. And tomorrow we will be on again at 12. Look out for an announcement on who's coming a little later today. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow.